Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
What is up? Welcome to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, Wednesday, December 31st. This is it. This is the last one of the week before the game. This is the last one of the year. This is the last one of the regular season. This is it. Now, we will do weekly shows again, and we're trying to figure out, we may do two shows, at least for a couple of weeks, as we try to tape our TV shows as well. So next week. That's 2026. That's a whole other calendar year. Let's wrap this up. Do it the right way. 888-855-2297. I'm sure there'll be some Trevon Diggs talk today. Trevon Diggs was surprisingly released on Tuesday. I say surprisingly. I think the timing of it, when they parted ways, was the surprise. The fact that he's no longer a part of the team, that we could see that one coming, but when they did it, why they did it, all that kind of stuff. Be interesting to kind of see what some of these what Schottenheimer has to say when next time Jerry talks about it. Steven, I'm sure they'll at some point we'll get all of the details, but from kind of what we know, it would seem like the road trip and the flight back, and then from Washington was kind of the final straw. And but with any breakup, there's never one thing. There's always just a final thing. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Danny in Henderson, Nevada. What's up, Danny?
Hey, Nick. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Great. I just have a couple questions real quick. I just wanted your thoughts maybe on what you think of Dak playing this week. I personally am a little worried about him getting hurt. He's been hit a lot 3 of the last 4 weeks, and I'd like to see Milton. Also on Diggs, I think we're saving about $12.5 million on the cap next year, and $6 million is still dead money. And I just wanted to know, I'm not sure if that $6 million stays no matter what, or if he gets claimed or signs as a free agent, does that money go with him? And then lastly, I just want to thank you for a great year, Nick, and also to Chris in the back. You let all us Cowboy fans bring our love to the Cowboys to the next level by talking to you and to one another on this platform. So I also want to say there's a lot of people out there that listen to this, but they can't call in because they work, and that was me until I retired this year. So thanks for everything you do for us. We really appreciate it, and I look forward to calling you back in 2026.
All right, Danny. Thanks. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Really, really nice words. Dak, selfishly, if I'm there and we're watching the game, and I want to see Dak play. Selfishly, and I think that everybody kind of does too. You'd rather see, and that's if you want them to win, but there's teams out there that don't really want them to win, that would like the Giants to not only win and drop down in the draft order, and the Cowboys stay where they are, and all those good things. I don't know why. Me personally, from whether it be stats or what, I would rather see Dak out there for a little bit. I think he'll start. I don't know if he'll play all of it. We'll see how much. If Will Grier is elevated maybe from the practice squad, then I think we'll know what the plans are with him. I get the injury part of it, but I don't know. Again, it's selfish. I guess I'd rather just Dak play some. As for the Diggs and his money. So it doesn't matter about the claim and all that kind of stuff. That's just the base salaries that they're claiming. If they pick that up, just whatever his base salary is for the rest of this year, which was guaranteed. So the Cowboys are paying that anyways. It's not like they're not having to pay this final week of the season. It was already guaranteed because he's a vested veteran and he's on the roster in week 1. So That's not part of the thing and why they're saving anything. They had two options really. When you cut him, you can make a post June 1 cut where you cut him in March or whenever that is. They have to do that in March, but you do the post June 1 and then you save. They would save, I think, $12 million this year, but then they'd be on the hook for some next year. They're just taking all of it now. They're not splitting it up into this year and next year. They're just going to take it. I think the savings by doing it, they'll save about $6 million here. So this year, that's pretty much that. That's pretty much how those things work. You can get more money right now, but then again, the Cowboys aren't just managing 2026. Cap, they're managing 27 as well, and that one seems to be a little bit more problematic than next year. So that's I think the reason why they decided to do it. They were going to do it anyways, and they're just saying we're going to cut ties with them. Let's go, Davion in Illinois.
What's going on? What it do, my boy? What it do?
How you doing?
Man, doing great. It was all good just a week ago. Said by the great poet Jay-Z. Trey Diggs, it was a good run, but we'll see you. See you on the other side, I guess.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he was a good player for us, and I enjoyed him. Hell, I got his jersey, but like I said, I'm glad they went on to do what they needed to do. When he lost his bestie back in August, it was pretty much downhill from there. As far as the game, I know you were talking about Dak playing. I'm all about Dak playing. I want him to go because he said he want to go. If you want to compete every day and that's what you want to do, let them boys compete. Finish the year strong, get 8-8 because the draft position really ain't gonna be a big deal because we're gonna be the teams anyway.
Yeah.
So go get your win. For my New Year's resolution this year going forward, I will not really get into it with people that do not like Dak anymore. I am just going to laugh in your face. If you have a problem with Dak now, it's crossed over football lines. It's strictly personal now because the guy did all he could do to help us out this year, and he did not get any help from his defense. So that's my New Year's resolution going forward.
But Davion, are you saying? I mean, do you even hang out with people that aren't Cowboy fans? I mean, are these Cowboy fans that feel that way about Dak?
Oh yeah. They say they are. Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's just I mean, for some reason, I just don't think I don't get why people don't like him as a player. I get, that he's failed a couple times when we needed him to come through, but as far as this year, if you still mad about his contract and all that,
yeah.
Hey man, just whatever, dog. It is what it is. I'm just going to laugh in your face. He's not going nowhere. Jared's going to be the general manager until whenever. So them two things are staples. So
yeah,
it is what it is. But I think we're gonna win. Probably, I'd say if Dak's playing, at least 30-20 somewhere around now. But
right.
our defense ain't nothing. So it's all good.
All right.
Happy New Year.
You too.
Be safe.
All right.
Talk to you next year.
Appreciate that. Yeah, they did not face Jackson Dart the first time around, and Russell Wilson had one of the best days of his career. So, let's see what the weather looks like too. It's supposed to be pretty cold. It could be cold and rainy. That might be one of your decisions too with Dak. If you're, and it's not the best turf in the world either. So. We'll see. We'll see how long, if Dak does play, how long he's in there, because the narrative of everything with Washington was he's playing. They're playing Christmas Day. He's out there. Even Dak and Shoddy after the game was kind of like, well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what I want to play, but we'll see what happens. And so, he is expected to start the game, but I'll be surprised if he's in it for a long time. All right, let's go to Skylar. He's in Washington. Skylar, what's up?
Good morning, Nick.
Morning.
It's going to be hard watching Dak start. Honestly, I'm going to be wincing every time he takes a hit, especially with the disheveled offensive line we've been having for the past, I don't know, all year.
Yeah.
We took how many hits in the last game? 13, like 10, 13?
Yeah.
Just in general? And, 5 sacks? 6? I just don't see the risk.
Okay. I mean,
maybe he wants that title really bad for the passing yards, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean that could be part of it. I mean, he's leading the NFL, I believe, in passing yards, and no Cowboy quarterback has ever done that for the rest of the season. But I think there's probably more factors than that. But it's kind of what Davion had just said. This is a shoddy thing. You want to compete. You want to compete every day. You want to go out there and you want to play. You want to win. They want to win. They want to win this game. They do not want to finish with a losing record. They want to win. They want to go 8-1. I mean, that's fine. That's what they want. Doesn't matter what y'all want, what I want, what we want. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of what they want. They want to go out there and finish this thing strong. They've been taking it all year long, and they want to go out and finish strong. But I mean, we would kill them if they didn't. And if they didn't go and do that, people would complain about that. So,
everybody's gonna be playing at all times.
Right.
Make everybody happy. That's for sure.
So,
I get it. I guess, as a competitor too, I would always want to compete.
Yeah.
I would just beating the Giants in general will make me happy too. So
yeah.
Just anything East Coast rivals would love to watch them go down no matter what. So
yeah.
Yes, I get it, but it will be hard to watch regardless.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to be the case regardless. You know what I mean? That it's hard to watch football games that don't matter. On the big scale of things. And so, yeah, that's always going to be the case. Thanks for the call, Skyler. That's always the issue, is just that you're out of the playoffs. There's nothing to really fight for as far as the rest of the season. But, it's so tough to tell. Like we can say all that stuff, but they're out there right now. They're getting ready for practice. They've been in meetings. They're going through the process. And have they mentally checked out? I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, they did a nice job in Washington on a short week going up there, and they were playing. They were ready to go. Now their offense stalled some in the second half, but this is really big when you're talking about trying to change the culture. To me, these are the games right here that really affect that. It's easy to go play when it's all on the line and all that, and everyone knows what's at stake. And the 49ers are taking on the Seahawks, 13-3 versus 12-4. I mean, I bet you the head coaches have their players' attention. I mean, I would think. Now, if you really want to be a great coach and build a culture, see if you can get their attention for this game. See if you can get them locked and loaded, ready to play this game. This is going to be a little bit tougher to do that. All right. I'm just going to transition to something here. Yeah, we got a lot of Cowboy fans that are I'm sure they have a lot of memorabilia and all that kind of stuff. I have this. It's been sitting in my car. I don't need it. Have nothing for it. Kevin Williams. K-Dub. Got this. Somebody handed me this once at a card show. I was like, "Oh, Cowboy fan, you want this?" It was an autograph of Kevin Williams. There's people that probably have all kinds of crazy stuff like that. You know what? Where's the text line? 817-290-3298. Send a text there to Chris Beam. Say, "Hey, I want this. I need it. I want it." You send it. You want it? Send me your address. We'll send it to you. I mean, it's just been sitting in my car or whatever. But I bet you there's people out there that have all kinds of autograph photos of a lot of great players. And he was a really good player, really good return man for the Cowboys. All right. I think the lines are open. Let's take a break here on Cowboys Storyline. I'll be right back after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, Dallas Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life, is exclusively in the Cowboys app. Join the official fan club today to receive access to Cowboys Drops, where you can win game tickets, autographed items, exclusive experiences, and a lot more. Download the app to join. All right. Welcome back to Cowboys Storyline presented by Gillette. Let's go to the phone lines. Josh in Chicago is next. Josh, what's up?
Hey, happy New Year's Eve.
How are you doing, man? Thank you.
Not bad at all. So I'll let whoever texts in first get that Kevin Williams autograph. That's pretty cool. But you said text, so I'm not going to try to beg for it now.
Well, Chris, what are we at? Do we have something? Do we have some? He said Josh from Chicago might want it.
I mean, it's a pretty cool piece, I bet, but I'll be truthful with you. I was born in '90. I remember the triplets way more than I remember Kevin Williams.
Yeah.
But, I know who he is. I know he had some Super Bowl wins, and I know he was a valuable asset to the teams.
Well, I'm sure someone's probably already jumped in there. I don't know. We'll see.
So on the Giants game, I know we were talking about whether some of the starters should play or not, and I think you're right with the culture that Dak is trying to set with Schottenheimer, right? Like, that's your leader, your team, and he's trying to set that. I also think that guys like Javonte and Dak, who missed a lot of time in their careers already, they want that 17-game starting season. They don't want to lose out on that because, I mean, for Javonte, it's a contract thing, but I also think it's a pride thing for both of them, the way they play. They want to show, hey, I was durable. I made it through this season.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big deal. But personally, after like halftime, if we're up, I want to pull the starters. Right. I want to see some of the younger guys play. I want to see Nate Thomas get in there more than I want to see Smith over at left tackle. Personally, I think Beebe's struggled because Smith isn't next to him. And I think I want to see somebody like Nate Thomas in there. I want to see like a lot of the young linebackers play. Obviously, we'll get the young cornerbacks playing. Shout out to Trevon Diggs. He had some good seasons here. I'll miss him to some degree, but I mean, the drama is too much for the play. If he's still being an all-pro, then you can put up with some of the headache. But when you're not playing at that level anymore and you're trying to set a new culture, it's time to move on.
Yeah, that's the way it is. Thanks, Josh. I mean, that is the truth. I mean, for anybody that says, "Hey, we treat everybody the same," that's just not reality, and they don't deserve that. Not everybody deserves to be treated the same. You have to handle different people differently than that, and what it came down to. But it also came down to rules, and you fly back. You fly back with a team. I mean, like, he threw that out there pretty late in the game. It sounded like Trevon, his request was like after the game, and just kind of saying, "Hey, I'm not coming back." I mean, this isn't high school where you leave with your parents. No, you fly back with the rest, and as inconvenient as it might be to fly there and maybe fly back to Washington. I mean, Christmas doesn't sneak up on anyone. It really doesn't. It's kind of on the 25th, I think, every year. And so that's just the way it is. And hey, I loved watching Trevon Diggs. He was one of my favorite players to cover. I got a chance to meet his family. We did a documentary on him. It was a lot of fun to do that. I feel like I have a better relationship with him than maybe other people do. But at the end of the day, this whole thing was just a mess. And after he signed, the Cowboys are gonna. They've already kind of had to rethink certain things when it comes to paying these guys a lot of money, and they're going to look at different examples. And Trevon's going to be one of them. Of guys, what happens after he gets this big contract? And don't think the Cowboys aren't already thinking that way, worried about that when it comes to George Pickens and any other guys that you re-sign. Is if this is the behavior now, as you're trying to get a contract. Because that's the biggest thing these players have other than maybe winning a Super Bowl, but some could argue that this is the biggest thing, is that second contract, which will set them up forever. Then, if this is the behavior now, what's it going to be like after you get your money? That was the big concern with Micah. And so, again, they don't have that problem now, but it was a problem with Diggs. He wasn't the same player. He wasn't the same, professional. He was on the field, off the field. When he got hurt, he didn't rehab it the way the Cowboys wanted him to. So a lot of changes there, and I'm sure it's affecting how the Cowboys move forward with really kind of digging deep, if you will, on these players and going, what happens after they get their money. All right, Lester in Minnesota has been holding. Lester, what's up?
Good morning, Nick.
Morning.
First of all, I want to say thank you for you and Chris and all of the people that are responsible for this storyline. And then I want to say I really, 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 really love the community that you guys have committed, that we are able to call in and voice our opinions. So I just want to say thank you to you and all of the people that are involved in this situation here.
You're welcome.
Happy New Year's to everybody. And I do have one little gripe, so to speak. I just don't understand when anyone talks about anybody's salary on any level. I mean, you could work at the grocery store or you are an athlete or whatever. I mean, this is America. You get what people are willing to pay you. So that's all I have. Go Cowboys, and Happy New Year, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. We do have a winner for the Kevin Williams signed autograph. It was Cowboy Nico in Colorado Springs. Got in there quick with the text. So great. That worked out great. It's good to hear from him. I think yesterday he called in, so we hadn't heard from him in a while. So it's cool. Hopefully he's got a nice collection of things. And if you do collect, any player and all players, then yeah, an autographed Kevin Williams picture. It's been seriously in my car for almost a year, maybe more. And I was like, I'm gonna throw this away. Nobody wants this. Then I kind of realized I do a show every day with diehard fans that probably really would want that. So I was like, cool. All right. Skyler, Washington, again, did you forget something? What's up, man?
Back again. Yeah, I was just curious. How do you fan the rest of the football season with the Cowboys being out? And, do you just support a team, a friend's team, a player, or just want to watch some good football? It's kind of just, I was curious how most fans go when the team's out.
Okay. All right. Thanks. I really don't. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, like, if it doesn't affect the Cowboys, so there is one team out there that definitely does affect the Cowboys, and that's the Packers. So wouldn't mind seeing them lose. But that after that, it doesn't. I really don't. I'll figure out. I'll probably pull against. Root against the Eagles. I mean, it's just kind of human nature is what it is there. But it doesn't really matter. Like whenever the Super Bowl hits, I'm definitely going to watch it, and I'll have rooting interest for something. It just depends on what it is. But no, there's no fantasy football anymore, any of that stuff. I'll just kind of watch it to watch it and to see what's up. And we'll do these shows, and I'm sure things will, we'll talk about that. But I'm not going to root for Seattle because DeMarcus Lawrence is up there or somebody like that. I don't really go that way. I mean, I found myself always rooting for the Chiefs. Seemed like when they were there, when they were in it, I have no issues with Patrick Mahomes. I think he's a fun player to watch. I've caught a pass from him, so I feel like we have a connection. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. Cowboy Nico, he called in. What's up, man?
I was just telling Chris 2 days in a row. That's crazy. I couldn't get on for like a month.
Let's go. And you got the text in there, too.
I did. Thank you, guys. And Chris, I will send that text out to you guys. So check this out, Nick. Ironic, funny. What did I say yesterday? Diggs, it's time to go. Take that star off. It's not like I was breaking news, but maybe I was breaking news.
Maybe you were. Yeah, I like it.
I have no clue. But
I didn't either.
It's funny that you mentioned watching the Super Bowl, and I've told you this before. You may not remember, or some people may.
Somebody got arrested. Somebody got arrested, right? Somebody got arrested, right?
Yes. That was my mom and my uncle got into a massive fist fight on the Super Bowl 30. Pittsburgh fans, Cowboy fans, and it was bad. But honestly, I have not, and I have mentioned this, and I will say it again. I have not watched the Super Bowl. Refused to watch the Super Bowl or even playoffs when the Cowboys are out. I don't watch any other teams. That being said, my current wife, I say current, please God, let her be the last wife I have.
Wow. Yeah. How about just wife? How about wife?
Yeah. I like
don't
that.
even
My
put
wife.
that in my head. I don't ever want to say that. Yeah, just say wife. Cool.
My fault. My wife is a Broncos fan, so I've had to endure when they went. I went downstairs and watched our Super Bowls because it makes me feel like a champion 30 years later. But that being said, if the Broncos get in, I'm going to need a lot of help from Cowboy Nation because she's already rubbed it in 30 years of us not winning, and then if they go to the Super Bowl, it's just going to be bad. So I'm going to ask all our Cowboy fans to please pray for me, and hopefully the Broncos don't get in. That being said, I forgot something yesterday, and Sergeant Sue, you're right, my bad. As I leave phone calls, I will say this, and I'm leaving it right now. Here it is. Always ask for help. Sergeant Sue for president. Let's get rowdy. You guys have a great day. Happy New Year.
All right. Sergeant Sue for president. Love it. Why not? Could win some arm wrestling contests. I'm sure he could win those. All right. Keith in Fernandino Beach, Florida.
Good morning, Nick. How are you?
Good. How do you say that?
Fernandina
Beach. Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds awesome.
It's a wonderful place to live. Nick, I've got two hopes and things that I would like for 2026 for my Dallas Cowboys.
Bring it.
The first thing I would like would be a drama-free
Nope, not happening here. Not happening here. See that star up there somewhere over here? That means drama, right?
Yeah, you're probably right. But maybe they can do number two, right? We've got these two draft picks.
They did that. All of their defense did that all year.
Yeah, we did that indeed.
Sorry.
My hope is that with number two would be the two draft picks. We've got 2 first-round draft picks. My hope is that we don't choose anybody that's hurt.
Yeah.
I understand the Cowboys have been doing this for years. I've literally been following this team since the late 70s. And this is kind of what we do. Second round, third round, whatever, we go for hurt people. And more times than not, it hasn't worked out. I would love to see them, stick with those 2 first-round picks. We need two defensive starters for sure. Hopefully we get a couple more in free agency or whatever. And then, that's kind of my hope for 2026 and maybe a winning season. That'd be nice.
All right. Well, hey, you're not asking for much there. It's not like you're asking for the moon. Thanks for the call, Keith. I'm with you on that. I mean, Savon Revel could turn out to be a really good player. He really might. But with a third round, and that's not too bad of a move there to get a guy like that. We'll see if he can turn the corner this year, and I'm glad that he got in when he did. But as far as a little bit higher first round picks, no, I'm with you on taking guys that are ready to come in here and play. This is the window that you're at. You're trying to win now. So I'm not trading. I don't think I would trade those first round picks to get back into the second and third and all that kind of stuff. I might move back a few spots if you're sitting at 15 and you want to go to 18, 19, something like that, because you feel like you've got a lot of players that you still on the board that you really like, and you can pick up a third just for that. I'm okay with that. Remember, they did that with Tyler Guyton a few years ago. They liked where they were, I believe, at 24, and they went to 28. They still got Guyton, and then BB with that third round pick. I would be okay with that, but these fifth-year options are valuable, and so that come with the first round, I would take both of them. And you need first-round players, I mean, think about your second and third rounds, and it's hit and miss. First round, for the most part, has been pretty good. For the most part, has been pretty good. Mozzie Smith was the exception. We'll see if Tyler Guyton is the exception. They don't think, they don't think it is. They think he's a really good player. He's got to figure out some things as far as just being more comfortable with his position, being more confident. I think that will cut down a lot of the penalties. I think talent-wise, he can be a good player. He's just got to kind of get that confidence there. All right, let's go to JR in Avondale, Arizona.
Morning, Nick. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing, man?
Getting ready for the new year. Happy New Year to you and your family. In case I forget to tell you at the end. On Diggs, I knew Diggs had to go, but I hated to see it. It was Micah and then Diggs as far as favorite defensive players went with me. So they're both gone now, but not going to worry about it. They're not on the team anymore, so we'll just move forward. I'll just have to stop buying jerseys of these favorite players because I'm getting a closet full of people that don't. I had 3 Micah jerseys, and I have to move down to the closet with Tony and Witt and Barber and all the other guys I used to like. But anyway, back to Diggs. It was sad to see how that whole thing went down. But
yeah,
like I said, it's over and it's done. More about, I always complain about the defense. I was reading just on the website yesterday. I was kind of flabbergasted. The word I don't use much, but I'll use it for this. That reading about how they just kind of forgot to put Logan Wilson in the game. And is it Dave Borgonzi is the linebackers coach?
Yeah.
And
for now,
how they just blamed him and that they said they just got confused. And how do you get confused and have a defensive set and certain players on the field, but they're not out there? I don't understand. It kind of tells me a lot about the whole season, just confused and players not being where they're supposed to be and receivers running wide open. It kind of just sums it all up. And then Schottenheimer commented on it, and he said, yeah, we screwed that up, and that's on the coaches, and we'll have to take that as a staff. It's happened before. It'll happen again. It's not what I wanted to hear, but you forgot to put a guy in the game. But anyway, that's all I got, man. I just wanted to call and say I tried to get that Kevin Williams picture to go with my Kevin Williams signed hat.
Oh.
But anyway, I do have a Kevin Williams signed hat. But that's a whole other story. Anyway, hey, please be safe, all the storyliners, and I've enjoyed being part of the community this year. I look forward to next year. Thanks a lot, Nick.
Thanks, JR.
Go Cowboys.
Appreciate that. I'll say this as I track these calls and to see who's called the most and all that, and I don't think I've ever seen anybody take a jump from having 0 calls in the middle of October to probably being in the top 10 in calls by the end of the year as JR did, and it helped with a streak I believe of maybe 14 in a row 14 calls in a row. So you definitely pole vaulted yourself up in there and into the all storyline team, which we'll announce, I don't know, maybe February or so, or late January. We'll figure that out. I think we'll go back to t-shirts. Gillette, see if we can get Gillette to cut a deal on that one. All right, let's go Sergeant Sue for president. Sergeant Sue, what's up, man?
At ease, everybody. How you doing, Nick?
I'm good. You?
I'm all right, man. I don't. Nico's hilarious, bro. I don't want to be president. I'm still trying to figure out how to be a dad. So I don't know if I can be the country's dad.
Me too.
But,
okay. Me
yeah,
too.
dude.
And I've got 4, and me too.
Hey, but to me, that just means you're a great one, man. You haven't arrived. You're still learning. You're still adjusting. I appreciate that about you, man.
Sergeant Sue, before whatever you're about to say, and we'll comment on that. But I'll just cut you off for a second. Thanks for doing you and Irene for the calls that y'all have made, reaching out to other people on this show. Cowboy Nico for one, but others as well. Really appreciate that. It's above and beyond, but it's kind of goes to show the people that y'all are. So thanks for doing that. It was great to listen to Nico. He sounds great, and it sounds like things are going good. But I'm glad that you were able to call and check up on people, him and others as well. I just want to say thank you for that.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. And like I say, man, I mean, I'm a goof and I'm silly and I'm super positive, Mr. Delusional or whatever, David the Delusional. But at the end of the day, man, like this stuff means a lot to me, man. Like I said, I'm a military vet. I did 8 years, and I've seen some great things. I've seen some not so great things. And, if I could be a little spark, literally a little, because you've met me, bro. I'm not a big guy. If I could be a little spark to somebody, man, I try to be. So, yeah. But I appreciate the kind words. With that being said, man, Diggs being gone, it just, it is what it is. But it reminds me of, to me, it's like a big what if. Like, what if Diggs and Bland could have actually played when they were, back-to-back, just doing phenomenally. Like, it just brings me to, like, those what-if scenarios. Like, what if, Amari Cooper would have stayed while Lamb began to flourish? Like, what if Romo didn't get hurt in 2016? What if Travis Frederick didn't have his health issues? Like those what-if moments. And I was just wondering if you had a what-if moment like that. And then with the defense, with Diggs being gone, Flus possibly being gone, they're going to have – the Dallas Cowboys are going to have an offseason with the defense like they had with the offense last offseason. With getting Javonte, nobody was super hyped up about it, but it turned out to be a really good thing. Getting Pickens, I feel like one of the few people that were, like, super excited about that. I feel like other people were kind of just like, okay, yeah, it's a great addition, but we'll see. And as far as this game, I'm hoping the Dallas Cowboys play, but I'm hoping the starters play, at least a little bit like some other people said, at least till halftime. I want them to get up. I want them to win. To me, it's about winning, Nick. I've always told you this is my entertainment. I don't have much else outside of this, so I'm excited about it. And I want to wish you, Chris, all the storyliners, just a happy new year. And I want to say this, man. I just want to say this, just one real quick thing. And it's on my heart, and it's kind of on what you were talking about. Tonight, whenever you guys are having a good time, anybody that's listening, whenever you're having a good time, enjoy it. But remember 3 things. And always try to remember 3 things. Remember who you are, remember where you're from, and remember who you represent. Because if you think about those 3 things before you make any bad decision, you probably won't make that bad decision. You guys have a great New Year.
All right. Thanks for the call. And words of wisdom there. So you say that, and then I wrote down what if. You're asking me what the what if moments. I from a Cowboy standpoint, like these what if this didn't happen. I mean, the 2 biggest ones for me, always in Cowboy history, were always the what if Deion Sanders had been called for pass interference on Michael Irvin in the '94 championship game, and then also what if the officials had called it right the first time and given Dez the catch. And then in Green Bay, what happens there? Do the Cowboys go for 2? Did they go up by 3? Did they stop Aaron Rodgers? Yeah, I don't know if they really stopped him. So that one's not, I just want to see it, though. I want to be able to see it. Just like, I don't know if the Cowboys come back and beat the 49ers, but with that 94 game, but I sure would have liked to have seen that call. Cowboys probably go score, and then they got 5 minutes to go, down 3. I'll take my shot there. So those are the Cowboy what-if moments that I always have. But then again, I always think that, about the word if, and there's different variations of this, but I always remember there was a former basketball player named Dennis Scott. Played at Georgia Tech, played for a lot of the NBA teams, Mavericks, one of them. And I remember a quote he said about if they did this, they would have won, or if they did this. And he says, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. So that's what I always think about the word if. Let's go to break one more time on Storyline. We'll come back and wrap it up.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, Gillette's Best Shave is now available in Cowboy colors, 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion. The new Gillette Labs are available at Gillette.com/NFL. All right, 2 more callers here. We can wrap this thing up. Erwin in Colorado. Erwin, what's up?
Good morning, Nick. Happy New Year to all you guys.
You too.
So I just wanted to make a comment. We listened to a couple of callers, or at least one for sure. He mentioned about Dak playing. I don't really care if Dak plays or not. We've all played sports in some capacity. Everybody wants to get on the field and play. It's a decision he wants to make. I would just say, at what point do the coaches kind of protect the players from themselves, from situations like that? And we certainly don't want to see anything happen to him. It's not like we haven't seen other quarterbacks, from other teams lose their jobs because they sustained, a major injury or whatever. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that and see what you think.
Yeah. Is that it, Erwin, or is that your last point?
Yeah, well, the thing about it is like I said, he wants to play. They all want to play.
Sure.
But,
well, they don't all want to play. You know what I mean? Like they don't all want to play. They want the glory of having success and all that, but not everybody wants to play and do the things necessary to play at the highest level. And if they don't do that, and then they mess around and don't follow the rules, then they get shipped out of here. So when you say that they want to play, but not everybody wants to play and commit to this fully, and Dak does. Dak was fighting through it for a contract 2 years ago. Unlike the others, unlike CD, unlike Micah, unlike Zach Martin, Dak's there every day. He's the leader of this football team. He's earned the right. If he's like, hey, I want to play and finish this out, then you go play, because you've earned that right. When he didn't go through a contract negotiation and wasn't there, he knew how bad that would hurt the team. So I think you agree with me. But what I'm saying is that I think Dak's earned the right to go and do this.
Absolutely, he's definitely earned the right. I certainly don't want to see him, regret something that obviously next year's coming around and everything. And on top of that, let's be all honest. I don't know about everybody. I would like to see a little bit of Joe Milton out there to see what actually he can do against, full 3/4 of a game. But I certainly understand why he wants to play, and he's definitely earned the right to play.
Yeah.
So I'm I'll never question.
Yeah, well, he should definitely start the game. I mean, he should start, and then from there we'll see what happens. Now the sad part would be, thanks for the call, Erwin. We're gonna have to keep it moving. The sad part of that would be Dak starts the game. Say that they're winning 10-0, 10-3, whatever. Milton comes in, whatever happens, they don't win the game. Then that'll be the Cowboys loss, to the Giants, and Dak is now whatever, his first loss against the Giants because he's the starting quarterback, even though, he may not be, he wouldn't be the reason they lost, but it still is going to fall from him. Either way, that's fine. I think you don't start the game and then maybe he gets banged up or whatever next year, and then they're talking about how durable is Dak. He hasn't played a full season since 2019 or whatever it is, and you're like, no, actually he did play a full season, but then he sat that game out. No one remembers all that. Dak should go start the game. From there, kind of see what happens. All right, Dylan in Northport, Florida. Dylan.
Yeah, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Hey, good. Hey, I'm looking in the YouTube chat here, and Rob's got like a fan club going because there's a Rob from Vegas guy talking, but there's also like a Vegas Robzilla as well, I just noticed. So like people are starting to name themselves after Rob, I guess. That's a thing that's happening.
Hey, I listened to the spaces. I mean, I heard a few things. I mean, there were some more, comments in there. Like there are people that are like, Rob, I got a question for you, and he's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I mean, like it's almost like he's kind of the star over there.
Rob needs his own show, I think. We got to get him on a camera. I don't know if he wants to be on camera, but we got to get him from a mic or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Believe me, when you get your own show, you definitely, get the big head. And, your ego just goes.
We can't have that for Rob.
I've been there. All right. Yep. Go for it. Yeah, Beam.
Going into football stuff, Michael from Bowling Green, he called yesterday, just listed all the needs we have on defense, which is like everything except for D-tackle, right?
Yeah.
But the good thing is you don't need high-end guys at all spots, and, you're looking for guys in free agency in the draft that kind of fit the puzzle as puzzle pieces, and it all depends on who you bring in here as DC and kind of what the system is going to be and all that, but it's all an ecosystem where, like, you might need, like, 10 guys, but you get one or two really, really good guys, and now those needs aren't as dire, so I'm looking forward to kind of what they're doing here in free agency this coming months and the draft in DC. And I really think that if they get just a few of the right pieces, they can just be even just an average defense, man. They can turn this thing around quickly. And they could be, you get an average defense with this offense, and all of a sudden you're an actual Super Bowl contender. So hopefully, they take this coaching search very serious because that's step one of this whole deal. And we'll see where they go from there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and then when you think about that too is that it starts with the coaches, because the coaches need to have the vision for the right player, and they're going to sign guys that aren't rated high on whatever PFF list there is of free agents, and and you're like, well, why this guy? Why not him? Just like people
look at a guy like Jalen Kearse, right? Like Kearse wasn't really great,
right?
But he came in and he fit the scheme perfectly.
Javonte Williams is
really good player.
Javonte Williams is another example of that too.
Yep.
So but you're right. It starts with the coaches though. That's got to be right. The Cowboys have to figure that out. This has not been a good situation, and this last game in Washington just kind of showed a lot of those things with that whole weird scenario with Logan Wilson. But I'll say this too. Players don't they have a chance to talk in the middle of a game. So I find that kind of odd too. If you're expecting to play and you haven't played and all of a sudden they just forgot about you, this isn't Kevin in Home Alone where they just forgot and they just took off to France. I mean, you could say something. Say something. So I don't know.
Up on the plane and says, Logan!
Yeah, right, right.
But is that kind of a weird thing, though, where, like, Logan Wilson came in the middle of the season and doesn't really have as big a voice as maybe you would have in a full off season, so he's a little bit hesitant. I mean, he's a grown man, so I guess, you should speak up, but maybe there's something to that.
I don't know. It's not like it would have changed a lot. Is he going to make that tackle on the Washington running back? Maybe. I mean, but it's just, the whole the whole trip kind of it's kind of symbolized a lot of things. There's confusion on the defense and lack of communication here. And, thanks for the call, Dylan. I appreciate that. I'll say this one more thing about Diggs and it really just comes down and it was a lack of communication with him his whole career here seemed like it, but especially at the end, just for a guy that didn't tell him where he was going to be, didn't, for the offseason, didn't communicate the right way about when he was going to try to leave, and I don't think he did it the right way. How about on the field? Who's playing zone? Who's playing man? Communication there was always kind of an issue with Trevon. So it is what it is. It's sad that ended that way, but I think for the Cowboys trying to build their culture and do things the right way, they we knew it wasn't probably going to be a great fit when they did that interview on the field together, Micah and Trevon. I think the writing was on the wall for both of them. And I'm not saying that was the reason, but I think you could kind of tell that their mindset wasn't the same as what the Cowboys were wanting here. All right. Last show of the week, last show of 2025. You guys have a great and safe New Year. I think Sergeant Sue said it best. Make good decisions here, good choices as well. Be safe on the road, not just for yourself. Be safe for the other guy as well. All right, guys. For Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We'll see you next time on Cowboys Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!